closing their trades. Don't close, don't lose.
Here's how you can avoid 100% of your income taxes every single year.
Following my simple 5-step diamond system. Comment diamond and I'll send you my free masterclass on it.
Okay, so today we're going to be watching people commit fraud and give you extremely bad financial advice on TikTok. This one's going to be a roller coaster. There's a lot of clips I have and a lot more available online. Some of this stuff is so wild that I feel like it has to be satire, but I won't put it past too many people because we've seen a lot of clips on this channel of just some very interesting characters online. I'll say that. So this one's going to be very interesting. If you want to send me any clips or articles or anything that you want me to talk about in future videos, I'll have some links down in the description to my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, if you want to send me a message on that. But we're just going to get right into it with some pretty heavy gray area on tax dodging.
I can't write off a private chef, but if I invite somebody over every single night to have business meetings with me and I hire a private chef to cook the meals, I can write off the private chef and the food that went into making the meal. This is how I'm able to afford having that private chef every single year, every single month, every single day inside of my house, making me and my wife meals along with my friends, family members, and my business clients, who also some of my family members sit on my board of directors.
So this person is huge on trying to dodge taxes, but unfortunately with being able to write off a lot of items, there's a very large gray area in the rules for what you're allowed to write off and not write off. It is very annoying, but that's why everybody online will always say consult a CPA, somebody who's licensed, because mainly the rule is you're allowed to write off certain things for your business within reason. So that leaves a lot of room for interpretation, and because of that, there are a ton of people online that will make videos of being able to write off anything for the business just because you used it in videos, you counted it as business meetings, business vacations, crazy stuff like that. And this person takes full advantage of it and makes a lot of videos like that. And most of it really isn't the best when you have the actual legitimate account of H&R Block in the comments of this video saying, for anyone in the comments, don't do this. So I mean, you can't really get any better than that, because of course, if you do have some sort of business, there are things you're allowed to write off. I mean, for example, I'm using a very expensive mic right now to talk to you guys, but because I make money off of these YouTube videos, I'm able to write it off. But I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say, take all this stuff out of the background right here and buy a Lamborghini and just stick it in the background and be able to write it off as a business expense because, you know, it's a prop for my video. Those extreme examples and then getting a private chef every single day trying to write it off as a business expense is your one-way ticket to being audited. But this person makes quite a bit of content skirting the lines of what's legal to do for taxes. I mean, you could see here ways that they avoid taxes legally, and then they're just going on vacation and doing all that, and then trying to make the excuse that because they brought their phone and they're just recording stuff for business and, you know, being an influencer and all of that, that they're allowed to just do whatever. And it's a very easy way to get audited by the IRS, especially putting all of this stuff online out to the public. You have more information like this that's supposed to be educational, but is still a little iffy.
Here's how you can avoid 100% of your income taxes every single year. We call this strategy the paper loss strategy. The very first thing that I'm going to need you to understand is you're going to need to buy an investment property. When you buy a rental property, it could be an Airbnb or it can be a long-term rental. But as soon as you purchase the property, I want you to write off everything that's on the inside of the property. This could be appliances, bathrooms, tubs, cabinets. And when you write off everything that's inside of the property, it creates a big expense. We call this the cost segregation study. Once you do the cost segregation study, it creates a big enough loss to offset your W-2, your 1099, your stock, and your crypto income, making you tax-free.
Okay, so this is another one of the kind of videos that people would say it's too good to be true, but a lot of people who aren't very good with finances would just believe it because somebody online who looks like they have everything together, has a very expensive shirt on, will just 100% believe. And then you go into the comments and see it doesn't work unless you filed as a real estate professional, which has its own qualifications. If you're a W-2 employee and file as such, it won't work. So there's a lot of this content also where it's not completely blatantly false, like they're just lying to get views. They intentionally leave out a crucial part of this entire plan, and then if any normal person tried to do this in their life, they'd actually end up getting screwed. But it wouldn't be as entertaining of a clip on TikTok if you said you had to do all of this and then also become a real estate professional to be able to write off an extra piece of real estate. It's just not as good as saying, hey, buy a piece of real estate and then you can write off all of your taxes on your W-2s, and then you don't have to pay any taxes ever again. So there's a lot of stuff like that with the finance influencers, especially on TikTok. So it's a very dangerous game, but we're going to get into some people who have diamond hands and probably relate to a lot of the people who have held altcoins since the tanking of the market a couple years ago.
Warren Buffett was once told in the '08 crash, Mr. Buffett, you have lost $10 million today. Do you know what he said? He said, I haven't lost anything. I haven't sold. Me and Buffett have the same mindset. I'm tens of thousands in loss on my Euro USD trades, but I haven't lost anything because I haven't closed the trade. No stop loss. We share that mindset, and inshallah, the markets will turn around and I will be profitable. That's the problem with these traders nowadays. Stop losses, closing their trades. Don't close, don't lose.
Exactly, yeah. That seems foolproof to me. I don't know how you lose any money in the stock market. If you never ever sell, then you technically didn't lose money. I think this one's probably more satire, but I think that there are a lot of people like that that went down with the ship with the countless rug pulls of all the cryptocurrencies, virtually everything related to NFTs as well, if you want to talk about that. And I mean a lot of the big companies that exploded during COVID when all the money was getting pumped in and companies' evaluations were sky high for products that didn't even exist yet, or maybe they had a prototype and there was just so much hype behind everything. And then the company went public and the stock tanked and has never recovered since. But if you keep it forever, technically you didn't lose money. Now here's one way to get free food. All it entails is you doing something illegal. I mean, pretty smooth, but something that I don't put past a lot of people who live in the city would actually do.
Your biggest expense in New York City is gonna be food. And I got a way you could eat for free the best food. You're gonna love it. What you do, you stand in front of a nice building. People that work at nice buildings eat food. They order it, delivery guys. And you act like you're on your phone. You know, hey, you say a bunch of big numbers. You know, I want the compound interest dividends. And when you see these delivery guys pull up, you give them that sign. And interest on it. And
especially in certain areas in New York that are always super busy. I could see this happening all the time, and I think that's partially the reason. Like, I don't know how to get around it with the Uber Eats type of people unless you have to show them the order with your phone or like by name, something like that. But I remember Chipotle specifically used to have a mobile order pickup stand in all of their restaurants, and for a while it was pretty far away from where all the workers were. So if you were confident enough, you could just walk in, grab one of the bags from the mobile orders that was ready to go, and just walk right out. Nobody would say a word to you. And I have a feeling that that happened quite a bit. I mean, pretty similar to probably what happens with this kind of stuff in New York. Because now, at least the most recent time I went to Chipotle, they had the little stand behind the counter. So you had to walk up to somebody and say that you had a mobile order, and then they ask for the name. And I mean, if you really wanted to, if you were sneaky enough, you could kind of walk around and see the name on the receipt of the bag and maybe get away with it. But I bet this kind of stuff still happens all the time. Because again, if you're very confident and very smooth, this is actually kind of a valid method, even though it still is illegal. You could probably get away with it a few times. Now, this next one is another one of the ridiculous car payments that I've talked about in previous videos, but I want to give the benefit of the doubt that that it is actually satire, but clearly, from what we've seen in my older videos, this would 100% happen to people. I just think it's really funny.
I know I just got a Tacoma, but I figured out a way to skip 3 months of payments. Now, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know this was possible, but look here. I just got this in the mail. It says updated payment information, skip up to 3 payments. In the letter, it basically says that I can refinance my loan somehow, which means buying it again. I don't know. But it did say I could skip 3 payments, so I might have to do it. Now, instead of having 22%, they are offering me 18%. Now, I don't know the national averages or anything like that, but I think 18% should be good. My credit card is 30, so this might be better. Gravity lending, let me know if anybody has ever used it, if it's good or not, let me know. I know it sounds crazy, but if I could skip 3 payments, I'll definitely do it. If I could skip the payments, that means I can get a new sound system in the Toyota. For some reason, the speakers suck. There's no low end, anything at all. Me not having 3 months of payments, I actually gonna have a lot more money to spend on the truck, new wheels, new rims, and I might hit up D-Tronics for a new light bar and sound system. Let me know what y'all think down below.
I'm pretty sure this is a joke, but we've had actual clips from this. I remember that there was a woman who bought a 2024 Accord with 18% interest from the dealership. There was another person who bought a 3 Series with like 29% interest, like the actual joke that he said about the credit card for his Beamer. So even though I think that this is satire, I would bet that some of these companies that send mail out to random people actually get some of them to do just this. They think that they somehow have 3 months worth of free payments, and especially on an expensive Tacoma like that, we're talking a couple $1,000s for free, and then people would do exactly that. Just put it right back into the car, cool wheels, sound system, all of that, and just completely piss away thousands of dollars. Now this one I thought was crazy until I've seen several different posts about this. I thought again that this would be like the ironic type of clip, but people actually do this. I can't even do justice explaining. We just have to watch.
You wanted to be financially set, so you did trading crypto.
Yes. I turned 40,000 into $500,000 in 10 days. I'm using a lot of tools, fundamentals, trading charts, and I'm also using
Plugins?
astrology.
All right. Was that a joke?
No, seriously. The 2 biggest black swan events in crypto, FTX and Luna, happened on the day of the eclipse in Taurus and Scorpio, which is the money houses.
Yeah,
So-
it sounds like there's always something at any time always happening, and when things happen, we can assign it to be
Right.
that, even though the universe is random as
The man who invented our phone, Steve Jobs.
Yep.
He went to
Cool, dude.
India to study Vedic astrology.
Sorry, I don't mean to on you for astrology. I just,
No worries.
that's always been one of those things where it just kind of annoys me a little. What went wrong?
So I
Bet on the
was-
wrong star.
because of the FTX and Luna. I lost 70% of my portfolio. But then because of my ADHD, the only way I could trade was when I was on excessive amounts of stimulants, caffeine, yerba mate. When I'm on that, it's like if you gave me a sniper, I would have made the shot. I had that level of focus. I could have made 1.7.
All of trading is, yeah, if I did the other thing, this would have happened, but that's not how.
So if the astrology worked, then wouldn't he have made that $2 million? I don't get it. Because it did work. I mean, 40,000 to $500,000, if he's not lying about that, that's still life-changing money right there. But then how did the charts or the sky or the moon paths or whatever it is, right? How did it not also help him turn that $500,000 into 1.7? Because he said if he just did another thing, then he would have actually gotten the money. So was he not listening to his astrology pattern or whatever? It seems like it's a joke, like it's completely made up. But I've also seen several other posts. I saw this woman doing exactly that. There was a whole article about her that she was just doing trades specifically with astrology. It just sounds crazy, but I would advise you to probably not do that, especially in crypto, as volatile as that is. At that point, you're just gambling and you're blaming it on the moons if you lose a whole bunch of money.
This is what index fund gurus don't tell you about index funds that make me so angry. Yes, investing in index funds is better than not investing at all. And I think if you follow me, you probably understand the importance of investing. So that's not the issue, right? After I grew my investment portfolio from $500 to millions of dollars, I decided to listen to one of the index fund gurus that popped onto my social media. And I'm like, you know what? Let me add an index fund to my portfolio. Do you want to see the results and the difference between individual stocks and index fund? I'll show you. Understand that even index funds, the best of the best index funds, majority of their growth are basically carried by like a handful of stocks. If you just spend a little bit more time, a little bit, we're talking about 1 hour per week, this is how your results can be different. Watch. Here's my $4 million portfolio. Look at the gains here on individual stocks starting from 200% until we finally get to VU here, which is way lower than my top performing stocks that are basically carrying my entire $4.7 million portfolio. And I also maximize my profits by using something called buy and sell limit orders long term. And I do it all in only 1 hour per month, even though I'm super busy and not a math whiz. Following my simple 5-step diamond system. Comment diamond, I'll send you my free masterclass on it.
So that's just a very long-winded way to figure out that she makes a whole bunch of her money from the free master classes, and then when you get into it and all the email lists, you realize that it's just a funnel into all of those different programs, that you could be a special member of this club and then be invited to all of these special access, Discord groups, mentorships, you name it. There's tons of different names for it, but then you find out that these courses end up being hundreds and thousands of dollars. All of these members that think that she could get that kind of $4 million portfolio, if they just follow all the things that she does, it doesn't actually end up working out, because she cherry picked a lot of the stocks that did the absolute best during that time period of the market and almost made it like SPY and VOO are like the worst things ever. But those master classes and those courses are the way that she's actually making money. It's not because she is better than literally every other hedge fund and Warren Buffett and all of those people on the entire planet. It's because she's convincing enough to have a lot of people pay a whole bunch of money for courses for pretty basic knowledge. And just to add to that, you go into the comments, because she said to comment diamond to get her free masterclass. Somebody did, and then there are replies for Anna Campbell, Madison, and Sage. So there was a whole bunch of other people that basically do the exact same thing. And then they have all of these different bots on these social media to make it look like they're normal people. There's the same thing happening on YouTube, and there's basically no way of stopping it, I guess, because it's been going on for so long. But they'll have bots mentioning or adding these other gurus that have all of these other courses and do finance or real estate, any different way to make a whole bunch of money. And they say, oh, they helped me out. They made me a whole ton of money. You click on this to learn. And you could actually see just from this single comment that there were 3 different of these bots trying to do that. There's countless people trying to do that as well, just trying to make money off of their courses and being very convincing. And another person who's been in hot water for doing this for quite a long time is Grant Cardone, now specifically with real estate. But he's got people indoctrinated into his group. Just take a look at this clip.
Yes, sir.
My name's Francis Cook. So I'm a small fish in a big pond. I have a mindset question. So I took out 2 loans to get here today. I don't even have money for a hotel. Slept
Give
in my
him a big
car.
hand, guys.
Thank you. Yes, I've slept in my car the past 2 nights, but I just wanted to show up.
So this person doesn't have 2 pennies to rub together. So he took out loans to go over to Grant Cardone to ask him a mindset question. I don't know if these people are planted just so they could get more content online. I hope that's the case and all of this is just completely fabricated, because the thought process of taking out loans and being completely broke, I'm guessing, just to be able to go to a conference that was not free. You definitely had to pay to get into that conference to talk to Grant Cardone. To ask him a mindset question, the guy's just almost too far gone for me. I don't know. Because if you consume a whole bunch of this kind of information all the time, I guess you would probably start believing that you would just need some advice from some of these gurus online and your life would magically change. It starts getting ridiculous like this.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month, buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
But how would a young, normal person get money?
Allowance.
All right, right off the bat, first, an allowance of $300 a month. Who's getting that? Nobody's getting that. And then the second thing, you're supposed to find a piece of real estate that would net you 10% of your allowance every month. And it's still only $300. We're not talking about $30,000 where you could actually put a down payment on something. It's things like this where it's technically feasible, maybe somehow, but it's just so ridiculous that it's like, I don't even know what to say. And there's countless clips like this. We're just going to move on from Grant and we're going to go to good old fashioned fraud again. Now, I can't actually play the audio from this clip because it was just music in the background, but this one we just got to play to the guy who crashed into my Chevy Cruze with a neck brace. He ends up getting a Chevy Spark and getting crashed into the Chevy Spark again, looking like he's dying, gets upgraded to an M3, gets crashed into that again. I don't understand it. And then he gets an M4 to the strange fire that took my M4. We're starting to get into a little weird territory, getting an I8 to the mysterious lake that ate the I8. Thanks for the Aventador. Okay, well, I know that this was probably faked for views. It was still too good not to put into this because we see some of the comments right here. Bro's lawyer is Saul Goodman. Did he just admit to insurance fraud? There's not much more to say about it than that. But We're going to get into more of those course type of people, mentor groups, workshop type people. We see this all the time online. Like I've said before, but we actually see people actively promoting it on their Instagram.
Day 18 of building a private equity company from scratch. Right now, we've got a platform company. We've got some capital saved up and a few investors picked out. I've got an absolutely fantastic team around me, mentors to help me find the right way, and we've got some interns set to start in the next month and a half or so. But anyway, on to today. We started by working out at Andy Elliott's facility. Pretty grueling, but a great way to start the day. Helped us really get ramped up. Then we headed back for an event they were having. He was a really great speaker. I learned a lot. Then aside from working out a little bit of content, honestly spent most of the day pretty chill, hanging with the entrepreneurs that I'm here with and just making some connections, strengthening relationships, and altogether just having a good time and enjoying everyone's company.
I thought it was really funny because it was just another one of the kind of cookie cutter magically. They always have mansions. They're always dressed nice. They always look the same, kind of that financial bro trying to convince you that they make a whole bunch of money and then become a member of their group and all of that. And I thought it was really funny that they had Andy Elliott as one of their talking points. That's another person that you've probably heard of who's like that alpha kind of almost military type of training, but it's for business. It's very odd. He's been in a ton of hot water over the past several months, but that's what a lot of these groups kind of try to be. That financial bro, Wolf of Wall Street type of business, and everybody's like an alpha. A lot of it's just a shroud to try to get you into their group and start paying them a whole bunch of money and do all of that. And we could take a look at a similar group that is like that, but in the realm of day trading, which is a whole beast in and of itself. We could probably make an entire video just talking about that. But this one I thought was pretty funny because magically all the day traders always say that they can make crazy returns all the time. They'll lose a little bit, but if you really know the market and you really want to be in the mentorship in the course group or on the Discord, you can make a whole ton of money just like them. But then you start seeing these videos, which would probably be a majority of the days if you actually try to become one of these financial bros.
This is what it looks like when the entire day trading team house is red. Silence. Everyone is quiet, brother. As the red is getting to our brains.
Actually, really bad. 38. 450? Yes.
Red, brother. We're not doing well.
But in the same way we saw in the last clip where it was like a business building type of group, you have the real estate portion, you have a whole bunch of the finance, whether it be strictly crypto or any of the NFT stuff, which is kind of blown over now, but the crypto stuff is still alive, but the day trading stuff has always been there too. They always have a big mansion house and be a part of their group and they could day trade all the time, but this is probably what's going to happen a majority of the time. Now, unfortunately for this next clip, she put copyrighted music behind her speaking, which already made the video a little bit annoying, but it was still too good to not put into this video. So this woman is $65,000 in debt, which is all too common for my channel and the several videos that I've made talking about all of these people getting into crazy debt, making terrible decisions. And this is just one of the women who are in 65K and basically make no changes in their entire life. They still do whatever they want. They get all of the expensive drinks that they get all the food ordered and all that kind of stuff. They don't change their behavior at all. And then they'll blame it on stress and all of that kind of stuff. And then at the very end, they say that it's completely fine because I'll just go bankrupt. I'll just restart everything and then I'll be completely fine. It won't ever happen again, even though if you don't change your behavior getting into all of this debt, you're just going to have this happen again. So that's why there's basically unlimited content online talking about debt videos and people making poor financial decisions because so many of them now just think that they could hit the reset button. Like this video that I saw of some random girl on TikTok did, and then I'm completely fine. I don't ever actually have to own anything. I could buy all my stuff and do all the doom spending and all the shopping online and eat out with my friends, buy an expensive car, even though I don't have a good job. And then I'll just hit the reset button. And in a couple years, I'll be fine and I'll be able to do it again. It's just never-ending cycle. It's honestly really sad, but there's just so many people doing it and doing it in a way that is so shameless to actually put it online, and then that ends up breeding even more people doing it, unfortunately. But the last one we're going to be talking about in this video is the semi-resurgence that we saw with GameStop a couple months ago, maybe like 4 months ago now. But clearly everybody knows what happened at GameStop, absolutely exploding, the Roaring Kitty, all the Wall Street Bets subreddit, people making millions and millions of dollars. But so there was a resurgence back in May of GameStop, and we have somebody who made a clip during the absolute peak of when that happened a few months ago. It's just really depressing.
All right, so I went all in on GameStop. I threw $6,000 and I bought it at an average price of $58. Right now I'm down 700 bucks, but I'm not worried. Back in 2020, if you're new here, GameStop price went through the same shit and it rose all the way to $450. And yeah, it was a wild experience, and I see it happening again. And you know, it's different because back in 2020 there was no TikTok. It was all over Twitter and Reddit. But now with TikTok, I feel like it's even worse. So I anticipate this to shoot through the moon, you know. So I have 94 shares, and also for shits and giggles, I made a $57 call by 517, and that one's down 110 bucks. But you never know. Let's see, right? Let's follow along. Stranger things have happened, and see where it goes from here, you know. Right now my portfolio is currently sitting at 5,938. Let's see where it goes. Maybe tomorrow it'll be double, maybe it'll be half of that. Who knows, right? Let's find out. Thanks.
So what we found out is he basically bought at almost the top of the market again when it was $58, and currently, at least today, at the beginning of September, GameStop is at $23. So he is down more than half, and I guess he just believed that it would happen again because TikTok is bigger and maybe people would push it the same way Wall Street Bets did it back in 2020, and that clearly was not the case. I hope maybe one day it'll happen again and he didn't sell all of his shares at a loss. And we could go back to that clip that says you don't lose any money if you don't actually sell. So maybe he'll do that, and one day we'll see GameStop go back up to $400 a share and he could actually make a good amount of money. But seems like a lot of people would put more money into it again just to try to reap those rewards like we saw back with all the Roaring Kitty and all of that kind of stuff. And I mean the same thing with any of the altcoins, any of that stuff going through the roof. It's basically just gambling at this point, and because of that, a lot of people will lose a lot of money, just like this guy did. So let me know what you guys think of these types of videos. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on the screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.